Good morning.
Morning.
I'm just going to move this over here. There was a man lived in Phoenix, Arizona. And a couple days before Thanksgiving, he made a phone call to his son. He had a son and a daughter. He said, "Son, I'm sorry. I'm calling to let you know that my marriage is over. Our marriage is over. It's just not happening. Sorry. After 50 agonizing years together, your mother and I just can't stand each other anymore. It's done. It's all over. We're getting a divorce. I'm calling to tell you so that you can call your sister, because I know she won't want to hear it from me. She won't want to listen to me." He says, "All right, I got it, Dad. Don't worry, I got this." So he calls his sister. His sister hears this, and she says, "Ha! Like heck they're getting a divorce. So she calls. She talks to Dad. She's like, "Here's the deal. Listen, you're not getting a divorce. It's not happening. No way. You're going to stay there. You're going to stay with Mom, and you're not leaving at all. And you know what? I'm coming out there. And I'm bringing my brother with me, and we're coming to you, and we're going to be there in 2 days. You don't do a thing until you hear from me. You got it?" And Dad's like, "Okay, yeah." So he hangs up and goes to his wife, and he says, "Hey, babe, just thought I'd let you know the kids are going to be here for Thanksgiving, and they bought their tickets." Now, I know you've heard that one before. In fact, I started thinking about it this week, and as I started to mention it, Shannon knew exactly where I was going, and I said, "Well, boy, should I use it? Should I go with something else? Should I get something really corny?" She said, No. Do you know what I could have brought? It could have been much worse than that. But I use that illustration because in just a few days from now, we will be celebrating Thanksgiving. And hopefully we'll have our families coming in to be with us, and we'll gather with them, and we'll spend a wonderful day sharing and being thankful. Now, if you're not going anywhere, remember that here, Thursday, at the church building, we will be cooking up some turkeys, and we're having a huge feast. And so if you're not going out of town anywhere, or if you have family in, I don't care, come and share with us too. We'd love to have you here. So Thanksgiving is a wonderful time of thanksgiving. The time to give thanks. I love it. It's one day a year where we just take a breath, we exhale, and we focus on what we're thankful for. That's great. Now, the downside, of course, is 364 days where we grumble and complain, and we're not very thankful or grateful for anything, it seems. But for that one day, we're thankful. Now, thankfulness and being thankful is something we should all be. We should all be very thankful individuals. Alan Perkins says this. He says, "A thankful spirit is one of the key distinguishing marks of a Christian." He says it sets us apart from the world. It makes us different. Psalm 118:1 says, "Give thanks to the Lord, for He is good, and His love endures forever." So there are benefits, of course, of being thankful. Alan Perkins says it's a sign, it's a mark to the world. Now we know Jesus says in John 13:34 and 35 that by this the world will know you are my disciples, meaning love. That's our badge as Christians. If we love, Jesus says the world will know you belong to me. Now the opposite of that, real easy. If you don't love, the world will not believe you belong to me. And Alan Perkins has a very good point. Thankfulness goes hand in hand with love. Now God wants us to be thankful, grateful people all the time. Not just one day a year. But often what happens is our thankfulness and our gratefulness and our happiness, really, is dependent upon situations, isn't it? I mean, think about it. We go from here, everything's great, man. I had a good day. It was really awesome. I got to play my drums for like 4 hours. It was awesome. Then over here, man, this day just, boy, I'm telling you what, I feel like I got kicked by a mule. And so it's bad. So you have those down moments. And our happiness fluctuates between it, doesn't it? Yes? No? Yes? So our happiness kind of fluctuates. Now, Now, somebody was sharing with me that our happiness should stay consistent. Happiness shouldn't be something that is taken from us. I agree. And I disagree, both. Because happiness does kind of revolve around situation. Now, joy and joyfulness, no. We should be right here always have a joyfulness about us. Happiness can kind of come and go. Because I tell you, any of you, if you have teenagers, well, let's just rephrase that. If you have kids, you know there are some unhappy moments. It's just the way it goes. So your happiness can kind of ebb and flow, but the joy should always be there. Same thing with our thankfulness. It should always be there. We should always have a thankful, grateful heart. Now, there are some benefits to being thankful. First of all, it does increase your happiness, as we're just talking about. If you think about, if you're thankful for something, you're usually happy. Right? Wrong?
Right.
I know when I get a new vehicle and I'm really thankful, I'm very happy. When I got, and boy, I'm just going crazy with the drum illustrations today, aren't I? But when I got my latest drum set, I've been playing for 33 years, and I had a set for 20 years. I retired that thing, and I bought a new kit in 2010, and I bought a 2010 really nice, really amazing studio model. The thing is awesome. Boy, I had to save up like my entire 33 years for it. But I got it, and I was happy, and I was thankful, and I'm still thankful. I'll still talk to it. You guys think I'm joking, don't you? You talk to plants, I talk to my drums. I'm like, it's okay, guys, yeah. We'll play tomorrow, all right? It'll be good, yeah. It answers back, yes. Yep, purrs like a kitten. But it increases our happiness, right? Our thankfulness naturally increases our happiness, our personal happiness, that is. Now think about it also. When our happiness increases, because our thankfulness increases, our relationship with God increases as well. Our relationship with others increases. Good relationships. It improves our witness for Christ. When you're happy, people are usually happy. When you're unhappy, people tend to be unhappy with you. When you're joyful, you should always be joyful. Okay? When you're thankful, people can sense that. If you're a thankful person, it will improve your witness for Christ. There's no way around it. Because we just said that our thankfulness will increase our happiness, and so as our happiness increases, our joy is always there, and that increases as well. It affects us. It actually increases our witness for Christ. It improves it. Now think about, just for a moment, how it looks if you're witnessing, and here we go, because I don't mean witnessing necessarily as in I'm talking to Sally, and I'm a Christian, and I want Sally to know that I'm a Christian because I'm trying to get her to come to church with me. I don't mean necessarily that straight outright. I mean the way I'm acting as I'm standing in line and the cashier is very slow because they're brand new. And there's 3 people in front of you, and you're like, it sounds like, you've been running a marathon. You can't even keep your breath. And you're like, oh, come on. You get grumpy. People see that. I can tell you the world sees everything that we do. They're keen. They watch. They listen. They pay attention. And so being thankful increases or improves your witness for Christ. Now, there are some Christians, I got to say, that, and we all know them because they're all out there. They're in the whole church universal. They exist. Sad to say, but it's true. There are some who are just the grumpiest. Now you know how you got the names for the 7 dwarfs, right? I think they were all Christians somewhere in there. I'm sorry, but it's true. There are some who are just grumpy and whiny, and they complain, and they fuss, and they're just bitter, and you just don't want to be around them at all. There's no joy, there's no peacefulness, there's no thankfulness. You think they've been baptized in vinegar. Honestly, it's just terrible. So having a true thankfulness will improve your witness for Christ. So those are just a couple things. Improve your happiness, improve your witness for Christ. Now, we'll actually jump into the sermon. Okay? Those were bonuses. All right? Because there are benefits, like I said, to having a truly thankful attitude. First of all, being a grateful person will enhance your relationships, which I did touch on a little bit, but I want to expand. You think about a husband and wife relationship, and I think this is the best. Probably not. I might be sleeping on the couch later, but this is a good example. Let's just say good, not best. Good example to use because in the marriage there are many, many dynamics of the relationship. It goes like this, quite a bit. And as the years expand and get further and further apart, that kind of does this more and more. You feel like you're at Cedar Point sometimes. First year, first pregnancy for Shannon. Man, now we have 3 kids. So you know where I'm going with this. I'm going to 3. First child, Alex. She was pregnant for Alex, and no joke, she got they shook the little blood thing. They're like, yep, you're pregnant. I mean, that was it. I'm like, whoa, no, whoa. I'm moving leaves and stuff, and I'm like, you good? You good? You okay? You good? No, we're good. Hang on. Okay, no, come over this way. Come on, keep coming. Easy. Whoa, slow down. I was just like that. Car doors. Whoa, hang on. Okay, go ahead, sweetheart. Okay, yeah, there you go. Okay. I tell you what, tiny little details. She couldn't carry a thing. I'm like, wait, give me that purse. What are you doing? I want to carry that. No, you go. Not her, not baby. No, I'm gonna carry the purse for you. We're good. I don't care what people say. Hey, I know, proud of my guy. It's okay. It's fine. And so, I didn't want her to lift a thing. Boy, if she wanted to, if we got a large sweet tea, I'm like, no, I'll carry that for you. I'll carry it. It's good. Here, take a sip, sweetie. I was like that for the first pregnancy. Second pregnancy came. Now, this has nothing to do with my love or my concern or my value for my children, nor my wife. It is just simply used as an illustration as such because you're laughing because you can relate to me. Second child. Whoa. Okay, walk slow. You got the door, you got the car door. You're okay. All right, okay. But don't lift anything heavy. Still kind of cranky about that. So I mellowed out a little bit more. By the time my wife was pregnant for Savannah, I was like, you good? You okay? You all right? Okay. Cool.
That explains a lot.
Yeah. I know you're 9 months pregnant and you were overdue by 6.5 weeks, but could you please still go buy me some beef jerky when you get a chance? Just there was that difference there, that relationship, the more familiar you got with one another, the more it seemed to do that. It's like I talk about for small groups. We want to grow our small groups bigger and smaller at the same time. As you grow larger, you want to break down into smaller groups. Same thing with what we're doing in our relationship. We grow together, but as we grow together, we also kind of grow apart almost in a way. But our relationships are enhanced when we're thankful. They are. Husbands, tell your wife you're thankful for her. Encourage her. She needs that. Give her support. Let her know how special she is. Not just one day. Not just on the anniversary or birthday or Mother's Day or Thanksgiving or Christmas, but every day. Tell her. Wives, tell your husband. I don't know what to say. No, just kidding. My wife tells me all kinds of things. Tell your husband how wonderful he is, how special he is, how thankful you truly are to have him with you. Good times and the bad. Children. And I don't mean little ones because they already dismissed for junior church. I mean all of you. Everybody in here has had a parent or still has parents living. Tell them you're thankful for them. Give them a call. Not just on Thanksgiving, not just on Christmas. Call them up, stay in contact. Let them know today when you leave here. Give them a call. Tell them, you know what, I'm thankful for the junk you went through to raise me. I'm grateful for every little sacrifice and every huge sacrifice you made to put food in front of me and clothes on my body. Let them know. Congregation. Let others in here know you're thankful for them, that you appreciate them, that they're valuable to you, that their fellowship and their relationship with you is much appreciated.
I'm thankful for you, Ray.
Thanks, Kevin. You're the only one, though. I appreciate that, though, brother. Thank you very much.
No.
Yeah, I got to dig deep for that one. That's like a $20 tip there, at least. Preacher is a sliding scale, sorry. Tell somebody. Before you leave here today, tell somebody you're thankful for them. You're thankful for what they do here, for how they help you, for how they encourage you. Being thankful improves our relationships. But next, and more importantly, being thankful, being truly thankful will absolutely solidify your relationship with God. Really. If you're at that point where you're kind of wavering and you're feeling like, wow, what in the world? What am I missing? Why did I feel so close to God? And now I'm like, gosh, I just can't seem to put my finger on it, but there's something there. I don't feel that connection anymore. Obviously, God didn't move because God doesn't. We draw near to God. He draws near to us. I can tell you, if you're feeling distant, He is in the same place. You have stepped away. And so if you're wondering, gosh, what in the world? Thankfulness will restore that. Be thankful. Be grateful for all things. Ephesians 5 is very clear. In all circumstances, give thanks. Not just when we want to, not just when it's comfortable, not when we're happy. In all circumstances. It will solidify your relationship with God. Now, if you're looking for some ways to improve or to develop your thankfulness, I want to share just two with you this morning. First of all, remember that everything in this world belongs to God. It's all His. Psalm 24:1 says, the earth and everything in it belongs to the Lord. So it's not my drum set, it's His. It's not my car, it's His. It's not my house, it's His. It's not my body, it's His. Everything belongs to God. It's just on loan to us. And when you start to think that way, you get a greater thankfulness. Because you're realizing you don't have to hold on to something so severely tight and hoard it, because it's not yours anyway. And so it helps to develop thankfulness. I could have never reached the point where I'm at right now without God providing every step of the way. I just couldn't do it. Maybe that's just the preacher answer. Maybe that's what you're expecting me to say. And the millionaire, self-made millionaire out there says, no, I got what I got because I went out and got it. Well, yeah, God doesn't want us to sit at home and stare at a telephone and pray, God, give me a job. Please give me a job. We have to be active in that as well. So there's thankfulness that develops through being active. Now, recognizing everything belongs to God is important. But the second part of this is really where the rubber meets the road. Okay, so ways to develop it. Number one, and there's only two I'm sharing with you. Number one, understand that everything belongs to God. Everything. But two, here's the biggie. Avoid complaining. I shared with my Sunday school class, I wanted to bring the video. I can't possibly even give this video justice as to how funny it is and how dead on it is serious as well. It's a video of Bob Newhart. I got this from one of my professors as I was going through my graduate studies in counseling. And it's a Saturday Night Live skit. And Bob Newhart plays a marriage counselor, but he's opened up for all counseling. And so this woman comes in and sits down with him, and he says, I can solve your problem in 5 minutes. She thinks, wow, 5 minutes. He says, yeah, but there are a few rules you need to abide by first, and then we'll move on, okay? And she says, all right. He says, first of all, it's only 5 minutes. We don't go longer than 5 minutes because I'll solve all your problems in 5 minutes. She's like, okay. He says, can you handle that? Yeah, I can handle that. All right, next rule. It's $5 for the first 5 minutes. And then nothing after that because it won't take long because we're only doing this for 5 minutes. Can you handle that? She's saying, yeah, I can do that. 5 minutes and my problem solved. It only costs $5. Yes, I'm good. And he says, all right, well I can only take cash. I can't take a check. So I don't know if that's a deal breaker. She's like, nope, I'm good. I got $5. All right. Okay, so he's like, okay, tell me what your problems are. And so she starts to just explain things that are going on in her life. And after about 3 minutes or so, he stops her. And he says, oh, okay. I know how to solve this. She's like, what? He says, stop it. And that's just the whole gist of the entire skit is, stop it. And she's like, yeah, but, and then the other day I wasn't, and he's like, stop it. And there's some humor to that, but there's some reality to that as well. Just stop it. If you're doing something you're not supposed to be doing, stop doing it. It's quite simple. So if you're complaining, just stop it. Now I want to do something really radical. Okay? Everybody, take a breath, shake it off, whatever you got to do. Get prepared, okay? This is going to be really, really radical. I'm going to get you out of your comfort zones completely. And if you're visiting today, I'm so sorry. This is not normal at all. But I want to do something really radical. And I promise, I absolutely promise this is easy. This is easy, okay? I'm not going to make this difficult, okay? Now listen real close, okay? And wait until I say go, okay? Because we've done this before where I've tried to say, repeat after me, and you guys are like, you're like every word after I'm saying it, and you don't know where I'm going. So let me just roll through this for a minute here, okay? If you love Jesus with all your heart, and you would be willing to do anything for Him, and then I want you to be honest. I don't want you to look around. I don't want you to see what anybody else is doing. I want you to be honest. If you're spiritually in a place where you're not ready to commit to that, I'm not here to judge, okay? And so I'm not going to be staring at you going, I'm still waiting. Miss Kathy, I'm still waiting for you. Waiting for you to raise your hand. I'm waiting for you to stand up. Sorry, I'm just picking just in general. But I'm not going to do that. And nor should anybody else be looking around. This is about you. Okay, so you need to know where you're at. So in all honesty, because God knows anyways, if you absolutely love Jesus with all of your heart, and you'd be willing to do anything for Him, just raise your hand. It's better if I don't look. Okay, you put your hands down, because I don't want it to be where later on like, dirty dog, put your hand up. I don't want it to be like that, and that's not what this is supposed to be like. But I want you to be honest with yourselves, okay? Now it's going to get more radical, all right? I propose something that I would like us to do as a congregation. I believe when a congregation does something together, they're united. And I believe if we want to keep the doors open for 10 or 20 or 30 more years and keep the lights on, we're going to have to continuously do things together to build up one another, to encourage one another, to continue to grow to make any sort of impact in the community and in our own lives for Christ. So I'm going to get really radical. I want us, as a congregation, to fast between now and the end of December. So don't freak out here. Hang on a second. Fasting, people say, that's food. I can't give up food. And I understand that there are diets and there are medications. So I'm not asking you to do that. You can eat whatever you want. I'm not asking you to give up food. Okay? Especially with Christmas coming up, you can hork down anything you want. Okay? Pile it high and deep. We're all good. This would be terrible. Boy, man, the week before Thanksgiving, preacher, hey, you want me to fast? No, because I ain't doing it. Sorry. I'm going to have a turkey leg in this hand, mashed potatoes in this hand. Yeah. So I'm not asking you to give up food. Fasting, we have this mindset that it just means give up food. Fasting really means to take something and to place it over here and replace that thing with God. If you come home every day and the first thing you do is walk in the door and kick on the news and take a seat and you've got to watch your 30 minutes of evening news before you do anything, that'd be a good thing then to stop. And you don't. Instead of that, for that 30 minutes, you read your Bible. You pray, you connect with God. See, understand how fast goes? Okay, so that's all I'm asking. Now I'm going to give you a very specific as well, because you guys are probably thinking, well, gee, I could probably stop wearing plaid for a month, I guess. Or, I don't want it to be that. I want it to be very specific, okay? And so I'm going to do the same exact procedure, but I'm going to have you go a little bit bigger this time. We're not going to raise hands. This time, we're going to stand. There's something about standing up, physically coming up out of your seat and making a very visual commitment before others and before God, okay? And so this one, I'm going to look at you. I didn't look at the other one. I couldn't see who raised their hands. But I want you to be honest again, please. Because that's what this is about. If you're not honest, and you're just standing up going, yeah, I'm going to, yes, I'm going to. No, I don't want that. God doesn't want that. It doesn't mean anything. So here's the deal. I want us to commit to fasting between now and the end of December. Fast from complaining. That's it. Shit, I didn't even give you the stand up, but yeah, if you're willing to do that, I'll say please stand. And it comes down to it comes down to that self-talk. We've discussed this before. You know, what we say in our heads, what we tell ourselves, we believe, and when we believe it, we start acting it out, and we become that. And so Satan will put all kinds of garbage in your head, make you think all kinds of crap. Oh, you guys are going to get mad because I said that. See? You're going to run with that for the next 5 minutes and miss everything I'm going to say. I did that purposely, so you can write that off of my checks, but it's all good. Just deduct that.
Now, does complaining start when we leave, or?
I hate to lay rules.
Great question, Kevin. You guys can actually sit back down. I appreciate you standing though. But honestly, for the next, it's 5 weeks roughly. And when you get to that point, when you're thinking about a complaint, stop it. Just stop it. You can listen to what Satan pops in your head, and you can run with it, and you can act on it, or you can stop it right at that moment. I think, we hear about Satan, and he's like a roaring lion seeking someone to devour. I want you to tell, he's just a little kitten. He's already been declawed. Christ has already defeated him. We give him all that extra power, don't we? Hollywood makes us afraid of him when we think, oh man, gosh, I better not say this word or that word if I look a certain way. Boy, those are all these, it's just silly, folks. Does he have power? Yeah. Should he have power over you? No. Not at all. So fast from complaining. Now, I noticed not everybody stood, so some of you will be doing a great job, and others of you are going to be like, I'm doubling up this time, because I know I can't call that guy, because that guy's going to say, stop it! So I'll have to do double work. So I hope that's not the case. And this isn't meant to pick, and I'm not being very even specific for here. I think every church, everywhere, worldwide, should do this. Because honestly, when you are complaining, it just brings the joy out of you. It brings the happiness. Everything is miserable. But when you are grateful and you're thankful and you're not complaining, in all circumstances, we're to give thanks. So if something is horrible, you still give thanks. You know that my son Brandon, he rolled his vehicle. Could have died. That boy could be dead right now. That was a rough week for me. And when I stood there looking at that thing all mangled, hanging up on its roof upside down, and I realized my son has a scratch on his arm right here. I'm telling you what, I couldn't be more thankful that God watched over him and the others in that vehicle. Everybody walked away. A couple scrapes and bruises. That's it. It's really easy to take that and run with it and be negative and complain. But it's not what God wants. True thanksgiving goes beyond that. So avoid complaining. Recognize that everything in this world belongs to God. It's all His anyway. And just stop when you feel a complaint pop in there. Replace it with a praise. This is miserable. I just lost my job, God. But I'm grateful that you gave me a job all this time. I'm grateful that you've given me a church family that will support me. I'm grateful that I still have a place to go home to. I'm grateful, Father, that I live in a wonderful country and you bless me with skills and talents and gifts and abilities so I can go get another job. Now that's just as an example, but you see where I'm going with that? Don't embrace the negative. Embrace the positive. So recognize that everything in this world belongs to God. It's all His. It's not yours. So you shouldn't complain about losing anything or anything like that. Because it doesn't work that way. And avoid complaining. Make that solid commitment to fast from that for 5 weeks. Honestly, if you can't do it for 5 weeks, I don't know what to say. Honestly, I don't know what to say. If you seriously cannot avoid complaining for 5 lousy weeks, boy, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe I should tell you, there's the door. Please make sure you find it on the way out. Yeah, and some of you are going to be mad because I said that too. But you want to be around a group that is truly thankful. And we have a group here that is loving and caring. And I want us to be thankful in all circumstances as well. That's what true thanksgiving really, really means. Let's pray.